Welcome and good afternoon. This is Commish Orr, and today is the game two of the three-game series, best of three series between the Seattle Mariners and the St. Louis Cardinals. This is the championship series for the Baseball Maelstrom tournament using History Maker Baseball's all-time franchise great set. That set contains the top players from each franchise, all carded on their teams. And so we have the Seattle Mariners franchise, which was ranked number 16 out of 16 teams in the American League. But they have won now 6 straight games in the tournament. St. Louis Cardinals ranked much higher than that. In fact, if I take a look at the tourney bracket, they were ranked third of the National League teams. And they were 5-0 before yesterday's game. Yesterday was the first game of the three-game series. Both teams were undefeated at that point. Now let's see, just check in and see what happened. We had Felix Hernandez facing off against Bob Gibson. And Gibson allowed just 4 hits, struck out 9 in 8 innings. However, he did walk 7. And really, the walks didn't really hurt him that much, surprisingly. There were a couple of base hit RBI hits in the third inning, one by Alvin Davis, an RBI double, followed by Ken Griffey Jr.'s RBI single that put Seattle up 2-0. And Hernandez was cruising into the 7th inning before he ran into a little bit of trouble. He walked Mark McGwire to lead off the inning, and then allowed a double to Albert Pujols. And then Joe Torre drove in both of those runners with a single. And that was the end of Hernandez's day. So the game was tight at that point, 2-2. But in the top of the 8th, Alex Rodriguez hit his first home run of the series, or of the tournament, I should say. A solo shot that put Seattle up 3-2 again. And that is all they would need, as the Cardinals didn't put up much of a fight after the 7th inning. J.J. Putz came in for Seattle to close things out, and Ozzie Smith actually hit a double with 2 outs, but was stranded on second as Jim Bottomley grounded out to end the game. So Seattle, a surprising 6-0 run. And each of those games, they were the visiting team, because I always give the home field to the team with a better seeding. So Seattle, being the last seeded American League team, has played every game on the road. But they're still 6-0. So St. Louis has their work cut out for them. They have to beat Seattle twice here in these next 2 games if they want to have a shot. But before that, let's not get ahead of ourselves. They need to win today's game. They need to win today's game. So, I already have things set up here. Let me pull up the roller here and see what we have for harmony, etc. Seattle will, they're 6-0, so they'll be harmonious automatically. You can't roll less than a 6. So let's pull up game day. Here's Seattle. No issue. I do need to take note of the umpires here. So let me make a note of those. And Seattle's harmonious. So we have Clem, Barlick, Harvey. And then what I do is I come over here and I put in these in here. Let's just pull up the umpire cards. So behind the plate tonight will be Nobuaki Naidagawa, the Japanese League umpire. At first base, we will have, that's what I thought, Bill Clem. At second base, we'll have Al Barlick. And at third base, we will have Doug Harvey. So Clem, Barlick, Harvey. So all 4 umpires respected. Nagagawa is also strict behind home plate. We're playing at Busch Stadium, so that's St. Louis. The Busch Stadium will be the home field here, or the field that we're playing at. Let's take a look and see if the Cardinals are harmonious or have dissonance going on right now. 1, and they do have a 1-game losing streak, so they're going to come into this one. Seattle is harmonious, which is good for them. St. Louis, just not jotting this down so I don't forget, has dissonance after that loss. And let's see what happens here. Issue with the non-pitcher starter. The outfielder has a minor issue. The starting center fielder is a whiffer this game. So for the Cardinals, their starting center fielder, Jim Edmonds, is going to be a whiffer this game only. Hopefully I will remember that. All right. So with all of that in place, I believe we have everything prepped here and ready to go. Pull that up a little bit and get the roller out of the way here. And let's give you the starting lineups. Same starting lineups as prior games. As I said, I have everything set up. If you want to see the full process of me setting everything up to play, you can head over to the game between Seattle and the Los Angeles Angels, and you'll get the full setup and the playthrough of that one. If you want to see what happened, the playthrough of yesterday's game between the Seattle Mariners and St. Louis Cardinals, you can check out that video also. You can find that on my page. And as always, you can head over to baseballmaelstrom.com to follow the action as well. But your starting lineup, much the same as it's been all tournament, is Edgar Martinez leading off at DH. He's walked 12 times in roughly 29 plate appearances. Crazy. Alvin Davis batting second at first base. Ken Griffey Jr. batting third in the center field. Alex Rodriguez in the cleanup spot playing short. Brett Boone playing second base and batting fifth. Jay Buhner batting sixth in right field. Tom Paciorek in left field batting seventh. Adrian Beltre playing third base and batting eighth. And Kenji is catching today and in the number 9 spot. Pitching for the Seattle Mariners today, trying to close out the tournament, taking them to a tournament championship, is Kuma. Hisashi Iwakuma. And here is the Cardinals lineup that he will be facing. We have leading off Lou Brock in left field. Stan Musial in right field batting second. Still slumping and struggling in this series. Rogers Hornsby batting third at second base. Mark McGuire is DHing in the cleanup spot. Albert Pujols playing first base and batting fifth. Joe Torre batting sixth at third base. Jim Edmonds is in center field and batting seventh. Edgar Renteria batting eighth at shortstop. And Yadier Molina is behind the plate. He'll be catching and batting in the number 9 spot. And on the mound for the St. Louis Cardinals today is John Tudor. John Tudor in this 1985 was 21-8 with a 1.93 ERA. Pretty dominant there. Iwakuma, on the other hand, was 14-6 with a 2.66 ERA for Seattle in 2013, if you're following along. So on the Seattle side of things, the only 2 items of note is that should Eric Hansen come in pitch, he is an icon, and Alvin Davis has a Delta home run in effect right now. On the St. Louis side of things, Lou Brock is happy, and Joe Medwick has been injured for quite a while here, and Jim Edmonds is a whiffer this game. And speaking of which, since he was happy, I believe you subtract the number of happy players from your dissonance chance. So let me just double check on that real quick. All right, after some consulting, it looks like Happy would lower the dissonance from 1 to 0, actually, but there was a dot there, so we'll give them semi-dissonance this game for St. Louis. Semi-dissonance this game. And that's the way we're going to run things. All right. So with all that said, we are ready for the first pitch. Getting back to Edgar Martinez here. John Tudor. John Tudor is an ace, semi-flash, and double control. So let's see what the first result is here. He is control. He's double control. So that means Edgar Martinez grounds out to short. And Alvin Davis also grounds out to short to start off the game. Great start here for John Tudor. So Renteria gets both of those and deals over to Pujols at first for the outs. So 2 away already. One thing I didn't check, John Tudor is a 5-3 for freshness, and Iwakuma is 3-3 for freshness. So this 6-3 should be a 5-3. So I'm going to change this to a 5-3. When I do that, it's also going to spin the next result for Ken Griffey Jr. Tudor is not wild, and Griffey doesn't have a good eye, so he is going to strike out. Tudor fools him on that one, and that's strike 3. And just like that, 1-2-3 inning, which brings up the Cardinals to bat. Iwakuma's semi-flash, or semi-ace, flash, and also double control. So Lou Brock. He is flash. That's going to be a strikeout unless he's a questionable or lenient umpire, which I don't believe he was either. He's respected. So that's going to be a leadoff strikeout for Lou Brock. And Kuma has a good start to this game. Stan the man. He's only batting 192. He did have a base hit last game, but he's been struggling in the tournament. Yet to have an extra base hit. Iwakuma is semi-flat, or semi-ace, and so he will be acing. That's going to be a fly out to center. So Stan flies that one out. Griffey hauls it in for out number 2. Brings up Rogers Hornsby, who's hitting 381 on the series. And he lines it out to second base, and that will end the inning. Brett Boone handles that one easily, and both teams down 1-2-3 to start things off here this game. Alex Rodriguez steps in. Tudor is fresh, so A-Rod is going to pop that one out to short. Renteria hauls that one in for out number 1. Brett Boone. He is an ace. Brett Boone grounds that one out to Pujols, who takes it to the bag himself for the second out. Brings up Jay Buhner. He had 2 big homers in the game against the Angels. This time, that's a sharp hit ball, but right at Joe Torre there at third. And that lineout will end the inning. 3 up, 3 down again for the Mariners. And that takes us to the bottom of the second. And Mark McGwire steps in. 7 hits this series, 6 of those home runs. Iwakuma does have double control. McGwire grounds that one back to the pitcher. Iwakuma takes it over to Davis for out number 1. And Pujols grounds out to short. 2 quick outs for the Cardinals. That brings up Joe Torre. And Torre strikes out to end the inning. That's 2 strikeouts now for Kuma. Both teams, two clean innings. We head to the top of the third. Pachorik in there against John Tudor. And he grounds that one out to Pujols, who takes it to the bag himself for an easy out. Seattle yet to hit one out of the infield. Adrian Beltre. Tudor is not a struggler, and Beltre is not patient. He's not a whiffer, so that is going to be a ground out to third. Torrey over to Pujols for the second out. Kenji steps in. He's not the leadoff batter, and there's no runner on. That's the first ball hit out of the infield, but right at Stan Musial there in right. 3 up, 3 down again. And we head to the bottom of the third. Jim Edmonds. Iwakuma facing the bottom 3 of the St. Louis order here. He is flash, and Edmonds does not have a good eye. That strikes him out. Strikeout number 3 for Iwakuma. Edgar Renteria steps in. And that's going to be strike 3. Out number 2. Let's see if Molina can get something going. Well, he's not a pinch hitter, and that's going to be a fly out to Griffey there in center. Every pitcher now has faced all 9 batters, and not one has reached base. We head to the top of the 4th. Edgar Martinez, the leadoff hitter for Seattle, facing off against Tudor. He's a slugger. That one is deep and out of here. Edmonds just turns and watches it go. A solo home run for Edgar Martinez. That's his 3rd of the tournament. Cardinals fans, a little nervous now. Down 1-0 already in this do-or-die game. Alvin Davis steps in. Tudor is not a star. Davis is not patient in this at-bat. That's a single down the line. Stan hauls that one in. Davis rounds first. Heads back to the bag. And that brings up Ken Griffey Jr. Wait a second. Okay, Davis is stoic, so he's not going to go anywhere. Griffey steps in. Again, Tudor is not a star, and Griffey is a slugger. He's not a whiffer in this at-bat. Griffey pops that one out. Musial over to haul it in. And Davis trots back to first. Alex Rodriguez, 1 down, runner on first. Molina is not an iron catcher. Rodriguez does not have a good eye, and he struck him out. Strikeout number 2 for John Tudor. Brett Boone steps to the plate, and he'll use the right now mini chart. He is not a hot batter, so he flies this one out to Lou Brock in left for out number 3, but not before Seattle draws first blood. They're on the board, 1-0. And Iwakuma will face the top of the order, Lou Brock. Is he an ace? He is semi-ace, so he is not an ace in this at-bat. Brock is not a sad sack. Brock is going to double to right field. He doesn't have a Sigma. He doubles to right field. And Stan steps in, but not before. Brock is going to steal third. Even though he's double active, I'm not having him steal home. I don't think there's any way possible that he would steal home with no outs. So we're going to bypass that possibility. But Stan Musial steps in, runner on third. A great chance for St. Louis to get that run back and tie the game here. Not a struggler. And they will be playing infield in, of course, with runner on third, no outs here. That's going to be a ground out to first. A 1. So Martinez is going to, or excuse me, Davis is going to look Brock back. And he'll take it to the bag himself for the first out. That brings up Hornsby with 1 down. Infield still in for Seattle. Iwakuma is not a star. Is Hornsby a home run king? Well, he's a semi-home run king, so he is not a home run king in this at-bat. Instead, that's going to be a deep fly ball to left field. And that's going to score him. Active runner on third scores. Deep fly ball to left field. That's deep enough. And Brock trots in without even a throw. So Hornsby with the sac fly here, which is exactly what they needed. This game's tied at 1. And that brings up Mark McGwire. He is not wild. And McGwire does not have a good eye. He strikes him out. That's strikeout number 5 for Iwakuma. And that ends inning number 4. So, Cardinals, 1 run on 1 hit. They need a sac fly to score Brock in that inning. But this game is tied again. Jay Buhner, we're in the top of the 5th. Jay Buhner stepping in against John Tudor. And he does not have a good eye. That's a strike 3 for Jay Buhner. That's Tudor's 3rd strikeout of the game. Pachorik steps in. Is he a champion? He's not a champion. There's going to be some infield drama here. Tudor is not a gold pitcher. So he fumbles this one. And Pachorik reaches first on the error. It's going to be an error on John Tudor. And since this is a 6, Pachorik is going to try to steal here. 7. I use this steal chart. I'm not sure who did it. I can't remember. 7 is a stolen base. 7 is a stolen base. So he catches Tudor kind of napping there a little bit. And we have a man on scoring position with 1 out. And Adrian Beltre steps in. He's not iron. He doesn't have a good eye. And Beltre strikes out. Strikeout number 4 for Tudor. Would have ended the inning. Instead, Kenji steps in. And we're going to look at the right now mini chart again. He's not a hot batter. So he flies out to Lou Brock to end the inning. So the error doesn't hurt the Cardinals. We're to the bottom of the 5th, and Albert Pujols steps in against Iwakuma. Iwakuma, semi-fresh for the 5th and the 6th. He is not fresh, and Pujols is not a sad sack. That's going to be a base hit. Pujols, a clean single there, which will bring up Joe Torre, and he'll use the right now mini chart. We're in the 5th inning, so right now means semi things for most people. Cold pitcher. Well, he did allow a base hit, so he would be semi-cold. But this is a blank. So Torre pops that one out to Kenji. Fouls it out behind the plate, and Pujols sticks at first. Jim Edmonds steps in. And that's going to end the inning because Iwakuma is a double control. It's going to be 2 grounders to short. Both of them fielder's choices. So 6-4 on the first one. And we'll say this one he takes to the bag himself. That's Alex Rodriguez, by the way. And that second grounder will end the inning. Renteria hit that one. And just like that, we are in the top of the 6th. And Tudor will face off against the top of the Seattle order. Edgar Martinez, who had the solo shot his last at bat. This time, another fly ball to center, but this one plenty of room for Edmonds out there. He hauls it in for out number 1. Alvin Davis steps in. He's not a home run king. It's another deep fly ball to center. Edmonds at the track, but he handles this one out number 2. Griffey, who's 0 for 2 this game. He's hitting .345 on the tournament, though. And Tudor is 5-3 fresh, so it's a 6th inning, semi-fresh. He's not fresh, and Griffey is not a sad sack, so that's going to be a base hit. Base hit for Griffey. It's a 2-out single, and Alex Rodriguez steps in. He's 0 for 2. He's only batting .214 on the series. And we'll use the right now chart for this one. Hot pitcher. Well, he's not hot because he allowed the single. So we're going to have infield drama. Is the shortstop iron? He's not iron. Is he gold? He's semi-gold, but this is a blank, so he's not gold either. So he bobbles it, and that's going to be an error on Renteria. Just 1 base, though. A little bit of sloppy play here by the Cardinals. They're hoping that doesn't hurt him. Brett Boone steps in. Runners on first and second, 2 out. But Boone dribbles one back to Tudor, who takes it over to first for out number 3. And that ends the inning. So the Cardinals get out of it and don't allow a run. So Iwakuma will face Molina to start off the bottom of the 6th. This is Kuma's last semi-fresh inning. He's not wild. Molina is eager. He hits a single just past A-Rod. Sharply hit ball. And Molina is safe at first with that base hit. Lou Brock steps in. And Molina's not going to go anywhere. Kenji is not a gold catcher. Brock is not a champion. There's going to be some outfield drama here. Is the center fielder iron? No, that's Griffey. Griffey makes a lunging catch for the first out. And Molina's forced to go back to first. 1 down and brings up Stan Musial again. 0 for 2 this game, hitting only .179 in the tournament. And that hits him. Stan trots down to first. He'll get on base any way he can, I guess, for the team. Brings up Rogers Hornsby. He had the sac fly in his last at-bat that tied the game. He's hitting .364 on the tournament, though. He is a hero. That's going to be a single to left field. And 2, base hit. Advance 1 base on a single. He's not active, so he's not going to score. That is going to load the bases here. 1 down. Bases are loaded for Big Mac. There is some activity in the Seattle bullpen, but they're seeing if Kuma can get out of this one. They don't want to quite turn to the bullpen this early yet. They're hoping to get 6 innings out of him. But we will see. He deals against Big Mac. Infield's playing at double play depth, by the way. He's not wild, and McGuire does not have a good eye. He strikes him out. It's a second strikeout for Mark McGuire, and the 6th for Iwakuma. Brings up Pujols, who will use the right now mini chart. And we're in inning 6, which means everybody has full whatever. Right now, hot pitcher. He is a hot pitcher because he struck out at the last batter he faced. So he tricks Pujols, and Pujols doesn't quite get a hold of it and grounds that one out to short to end the inning. Very close there. A-Rod handles that one and over to Davis. So Cardinals had a chance to score and open up a lead here, but they couldn't quite get it done. So we head to the top of the seventh. Game's still tied at 1. John Tudor facing Jay Buhner here. And Buhner dribbles that one back to Tudor, who takes it to first for out number 1. And Pachorik grounds out the next pitch to Renteria at short for out number 2. And just like that, we have 2 down in the 7th inning. Beltre steps in. We're going to have an unusual result, and it's going to be a ballpark result. Is it a small ballpark? No. That is a deep fly ball to left field, caught at the warning track. Lou Brock hauls that one in on the run. And that's going to be out number 3, 7th inning stretch time. Seattle, Iwakuma is no longer fresh or semi-fresh. He's pitched a great game here. He's only allowed 1 run on 4 hits. That being said, they will leave him in until he allows a base runner. So Joe Torre steps in. Iwakuma on a short leash. They have activity in the bullpen already. He is flash but not fresh. Still ground out short. A-Rod takes it over to Alvin Davis for out number 1, which brings up Jim Edmonds. He's 0 for 2 this game. He's only hitting .211 on the tournament. And he's a whiffer. That's going to be strike 3. Strikeout number 7 for Iwakuma. And they will pinch hit for Renteria here, as they often do later in the innings. Renteria only hitting 176. Usually what they do is they go to Willie McGee here, which is exactly what they're going to do. So Willie McGee's going to pinch hit. He's a switch hitter. Iwakuma will try to get 3 up, 3 down this inning. Let's see what happens. He's not fresh. And McGee is not a sad sack or patient. So he singles to right. Clean base hit for Willie McGee. Which brings up Molina. And they're going to let him hit as they often do. Molina is a pretty decent hitter. He's hitting .261 only on the tournament, but he is 1 for 2 this game. And they will use the chemistry chart to resolve this at bat. Remember, Seattle is harmony, and the Cardinals are semi-dissonant. Chemistry. Pitching team harmony, yes. Outfielder makes a sliding grab of a looping liner. So that's going to be a looping liner to, probably Griffey. We'll say Griffey because he's a gold fielder. Griffey, a couple of big plays here in these last couple of innings. And that one is going to be out number 3. So defensively, we have Ozzie Smith coming in for Renteria to play short. And he will also take Renteria's spot in the batting order. And we head to the 8th. Tudor is still semi-fresh. So once again, much like Seattle, they're going to let him go until there's a base runner. Let's see if they're going to let Kenji bat here. Dan Wilson would be the backup. They're probably going to pinch hit. Kenji hit 291. Seattle bench not very deep actually, but Ichiro can come in here to pinch hit, which is I think what's going to happen. So Ichiro is going to pinch hit. Ichiro will pinch hit, and let's see what happens here as John Tudor deals. He is semi-flash, so he's not flash. Ichiro is semi-champion, so I usually go to the next one, which he is a champion, and he bloops a single in the left field for a base hit. Exactly what they needed him to do. And that, I believe, will be it for John Tudor. Even though he's pitched an amazing game, it's just the fourth hit he's allowed. Oops. Wrong one. They may actually, he's double control though, so they may let him face another batter, but I think they have enough bullpen depth to go to their bullpen here. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, they have plenty of bullpen depth. So righty, lefty, lefty. So Martinez is the righty. Then they could bring Hrabowski in. Let's see what they're going to do. He's only semi-control. I have a feeling it's going to bite us, but we're going to go with, actually, we're going to let Tudor face one more hitter, Edgar Martinez. And then Hrabowski's warming up and will probably come in to face Alvin Davis and Ken Griffey Jr., two lefties. So, first off, he's going to face Edgar Martinez. He is an ace. That's a line out to third. If there had been a runner on third, he would have been doubled up. That's a sharp hit ball, but Torrey, who doesn't have the best fielding, just is able to snag that one for the first out. Saved a base hit right there. All right, so now they're going to turn to the Mad Hungarian, Al Hrabowski here. Let's see. Yep. To face the two lefties. There we go. Alvin Davis will be the first of those lefties to step in. He is flash. That is going to be a strikeout because there is not a questionable or lenient umpire, I don't believe. No. So that's strike three. And that's out number two. So Griffey steps in. Two down now. Ichiro still at first. He's not eager, and he walks him. That's a walk for Griffey. Active steals. Well, he can't steal anyway. So that brings up Alex Rodriguez, and we're going to use the chemistry chart for this one. Pitching team dissonance. No. That's a foul out to the catcher. So Alex Rodriguez fouls that one back. And Molina hauls it in for the third out. So they get out of that jam. And now we have to do some substitutions. So I believe Ichiro could stay in, but Jay Buhner has been really good, so I think he's going to come out. So Dan Wilson will be catching for Seattle, and he will take the number 9 spot in the batting order as well. So, Dan Wilson, and he will also take the number 9 spot in the batting order. If Seattle had had a lead, we probably would have had Ichiro come in for defense, but with the game still tied, we value Buhner's bat a little bit more. And he's going to be coming up to bat next inning. So, all right. So, what that takes us to is the 8th inning. And the bottom of the 8th, actually. And we have Lou Brock leading things off. But Seattle is going to turn to their bullpen here after getting 7 strong innings out of Iwakuma. Couldn't ask for more from him. So let's see who is going to pitch. We have a lefty, righty. Okay, so a couple of lefties here to start things off. Arthur Rhodes will come in to pitch. For Seattle. Rhodes is an ace, a star, flash, and double control. Very good pitcher. In fact, that year, he was 8-0 in relief with a 1.72 ERA. So he will face off against Lou Brock here. Cardinals hoping to get something going. Unusual result, and that's going to be an umpire result. Questionable umpire at home. Nope. Other umpires rule a strike and the batter's still at bat. So, Brock will stay in there. He is double control, which means not only is Brock going to ground out to short, but so is Stan Musial, and his slump continues. So Hornsby steps in, but 2 out in the bottom of the 8th here. Wilson is not an iron catcher. Hornsby does have a good eye, so he checks swings, and that's a ball. We're going to check the umpire mini chart yet again. A lenient umpire at home. Nope. He would have had a generous strike zone, but instead, that's ball 1, and Hornsby's still at bat. Rhodes is not wild, and Hornsby is not eager. That's going to be a ground out to second base because he's also not patient. So that's a grounder to Boone to end the inning, 3 up, 3 down. And Arthur Rhodes gives Seattle exactly what they needed here. Speaking of Boone, he's the first batter here in the 9th for Seattle. And I believe Hrabowski is going to come out of the game after having done his job. There's a series of right-handed hitters next. So they get 7 innings from Tudor. They get 1 from Hrabowski. And we have righties coming up. McDaniel just pitched, so Todd Worrell is going to be the pitcher for St. Louis. I believe. Otherwise, Isringhausen. Let's look at Isringhausen. Ace Flash. Yeah. We'll go with Worrell. Okay. Todd Worrell hoping to keep things tied up here. And he'll face Boone, Buhner, and Pachorik. Brett Boone first. He's not double control. The pitcher is not batting, so Boone is going to draw a walk here. Leadoff walk. He's stoic, so he's not going to even attempt it anyway. That brings up Jay Buhner. Dangerous hitter here, even though he's 0 for 3 this game. It's not a pinch hitter. It's a fly ball. Edmonds has plenty of room, though. And that's going to be the first out of the inning. Let's see. Pachorik in left. He's 0 for 3. He's only hit 160. He was a 326 hitter, though. After Ichiro, boy, they really don't have a deep bench at all. After Ichiro, the hitting goes down quite a bit. So Pachorik's actually going to bat. Yeah. He is not utility or sad sack, which means that is going to be a triple to the gap. He wasn't a home run kinger. That would have been gone. That's off the top of the wall. So Pachorik puts Seattle in front 2-1 in the 9th inning. And we have a runner on third base still with Adrian Beltre at the plate. Infield in. Worrell will face at least one more batter here. In fact, no, he won't. Bruce Sutter is going to come in. Cardinals closer, but they're bringing him in because they want to keep this game close and make sure it doesn't get out of control here. So Sutter comes in, and he'll face Beltre infield in. He's not wild. Beltre is a slugger. That is a line out to short. But with the infield in, lineouts turn into singles. So a line out just past the drawn in infield, and that scores another run. Dan Wilson comes up to bat. Still one out. Double control for Sutter. So this is going to be, actually, it's going to be a double play ball anyway. So Wilson's going to ground into a double play, 6-4-3, to end the inning, but not before Seattle gets 2 huge runs. And we head to the 9th, the bottom of the 9th, Seattle up 3-1. Do or die here for the Cardinals. And Seattle's closer, J.J. Putz, comes in to hopefully close this one out in an amazing possible sweep of the tournament. He will have to face McGuire, Pujols, and Torrey. First, Big Mac. He is a leadoff batter. That is going to be a single to center. McGuire with only his second non-home run base hit. But this one comes at a key time. Pujols comes in. McGuire not with much speed, but he is not the tying run anyway. Pujols is. Yeah, I think they want to keep him in here, even though his his speed is horrible. Wow. I mean, it's stoic, which is as bad as it gets. All right. Puts deals against Pujols. He is a star. That's a strikeout because Pujols does not have a good eye. So Pujols goes down swinging. And that brings up Joe Torre. He's hitting .391 on the tournament, even though he's 0 for 3 today. Puts deals. He is an ace. That's a deep fly ball to right. But Buhner's going to have a little bit of room to haul that one in. Runner on third would have scored, but it's a deep fly ball to right, but not deep enough for McGuire to advance anyway. So, Jim Edmonds would be the batter. He's 0 for 3. He's only hitting .200 on the tournament. So I believe the Cardinals will go to a pinch hitter here. He was a .301 hitter in 2004, but the Cardinals actually have plenty of bench depth. Bottomley actually hit yesterday. He has some power also. Orlando Cepeda. I think Bottomley, I had Bottomley hit because he's a lefty, which is probably what we want to do again. So, Bottomley. Yes. Jim Bottomley will be the pinch hitter. Cardinals are down to their final out. Seattle 1 out away from an amazing tournament run. Puts deals. He is control. Bottomley dribbles one back to the pitcher, and he takes it over to first. The Seattle Mariners are your Baseball Maelstrom Tournament champions. Seattle 7-0 in the tournament, I believe. Am I right? Yes, 7-0 on the tournament. Unbeaten. Cardinals dropped their second straight game after starting 5-0. Could not complete it against the Mariners. All thanks to ninth inning runs. Really, a triple by Pachorik there was the key. Sadly, Iwakuma does not get the win. The win goes to Arthur Rhodes. And Putz gets the save. The loss goes to Worrell. And Suter does not have a decision here of any kind. So, Arthur Rhodes with the win. Putz gets his save, which I believe is save number 4 for him. And that's your game. Seattle, 3 runs on 6 hits and no errors. St. Louis, only 1 run on 6 hits and 2 errors. The Cardinals' offense just could not get anything going against either one of the starting pitchers. Hernandez kept them in check yesterday, and Kuma kept them in check today. Randy Johnson would have taken them out on short rest tomorrow, if there was a Game 3. So they still had a rough road ahead, but Seattle did not need that game. So that winds things down, wraps things up. Seattle finishes the tournament 7-0, surprising everyone, and myself included, by winning every game and beating every competitor they faced. Edgar Martinez finishes hitting 238. I'll probably do a stat recap show, so I'm not going to get into detail on it now, but be watching for that video. I'll put out a short video where I kind of go over the stats from the tournament, take a look at some key players, and then I'll probably go into some more depth on Seattle's lineup and St. Louis's lineup and that kind of thing and how they did in the tournament. So, but that wraps things up. We will end things here. Hopefully you enjoyed watching, even if Seattle isn't your team, or you don't think Seattle should have had any shot at winning this tournament. The games were the games, man. I guess you can't really argue with 7-0 here. They got the key hits when they needed them. Their pitching shut down the opponents when they needed them to. They had a lot of close games that they squeaked out, and they won when they needed to. So if you're a Seattle Mariners fan, this is a great time for you to rejoice. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. Leave your comments down below. As always, head over to baseballmaelstrom.com if you want to keep up to date on find all the stats. You can find all the stats in detail over there. I will not have updated for the last 2 championship games yet, but I will shortly. By the time I come out with my video where I do the stats recap from the tournament, that all will be updated along with the website. I'll also have a video detailing my next projects as well, so stay tuned for that. But with all that said, thanks again for watching. As I said, until next time, have a great evening.